Now let's take a look at strings. Now you've probably noticed if you've been watching some of the other videos that I've talked about data types, value types, reference types, and I've talked about bytes and integers and longs and decimals. And I've kind of been avoiding the topic of strings, and so let's talk about strings now. Now, as it turns out, a string is simply a string, no pun intended, but a group of letters, numbers, characters, and basically you would generally think of them as alpha characters for the most part. They can also be numbers as well. And let me show you just how to declare a basic string variable. Notice I can just say string A equals to or is equal to Mark. And that's pretty straightforward. And so now string A equals the word Mark. Now, a couple of things you need to know about strings. First of all, strings are actually a reference type in C#. And a string is actually created from a class that exists, a string class. It is an object in the .NET framework. And so there's some things happening in the background with strings that make it kind of interesting. And I want to get into all those right now. It's a little more advanced, but for the most part, what I want to go through here is some of the things you can do with strings, and then we'll talk about converting strings to use them to report out and combine them with numbers and so forth, the way you'll normally use them in the real world in the next video. But for now, I just want to show you a couple of things. First of all, this is the way that we're going to create a variable A with a data type of string and then load it with some string data. We can also load a string empty if we would like, simply by putting just 2 quotes, and we can also put null there, and it does the same thing. Now we can also join or concatenate strings, and so if I go back and if I put the word long in there, now I have string A is Mark and B is long, and then I can concatenate. Now let's do string name equal to Mark, and then I can use the plus sign in C# to concatenate. And then I'll put a space in there and I will concatenate that, and then that will give me a string that's Mark, a space, and long all together. And there's a lot of things that I can do with strings, but there's going to be a lot of times when you try to work with strings and with numbers, and it'll throw errors at you. And it'll tell you, I can't convert that to an integer, I can't convert an integer to a string, and it'll kind of drive you nuts. And so all I wanted to show you here in this video is how to create string variables to hold our strings. And then in the next video, which is entitled Converting, I'm going to use these strings to show you how we're going to convert integers to strings and strings to integers and so forth, and actually use them the way you'd normally use them in your program. For now, we'll stop right here on strings. Very simple, very straightforward. The big thing here, of course, is concatenate. And so join me in the video on converting, and let's talk about some really cool things that we can do with these things.